Are you ready to have some fun with books or book pages? While we are stuck at home, we can't just go to the art store and get whatever we need. So if you want a sketchbook, but you don't have one, I'm going to show you how to turn a regular book into a sketchbook. So after that, it is important though, folks, kids, ask your parents which books you can turn into an art journal. Because it's fun. It'll keep you busy for a good long time. That's how you can sell it. Mom, I promise I'll be busy for a long time if I can turn this book into a sketchbook. Okay, and then while our sketchbooks are drying, they do take a little time to prep, and you can't muck in them right away. So what we'll do also is just have some fun with book pages. If you don't have a book to turn into a sketchbook, we can do some other things with some book pages. We can make found word poetry. This one's a little more complex, but we can also just have fun making our name or words and then embellishing them. So first, I'm going to show you the process for turning a regular book into a sketchbook or art journal. Okay, so paper pages are not very strong. As we've discovered, even the office paper that we're using can get crinkly. So what I've done to make these pages a little stronger is I've glued two of them together. I wish you could feel these, but you can't. These are two pages glued together. The way that I do that is I just take some white acrylic paint that is kind of like glue with white pigment in it. And let me get my brush and my science experiment water jug. All I do, you don't want a lot of water. I'm just moistening my brush. And then I'm just slathering some paint. I'm going to work pretty quickly though because I want this to be wet when I fold it together. And I like to make sure I get all the way to the edges because I don't want my sketchbook pages coming apart. You only have to do one side of your page, but I do want to get down here. So see how quickly I'm going. Then when we fold it over, just like how we did when we covered our cans, is you want to start from the center and really push it smooth on the way out. That will help reduce the amount of crinkles and wrinkles and buckles and puckers. So the thing is, sometimes you will get a little overshoot. You know, it might stick a few pages together a little bit. No big deal. This is just fun. Okay, so, but it's wet. So we're not going to be able to put a lot of paint or anything on it right away. We're going to want that to dry. Now you may enjoy, like I enjoy, having the text of the book page be a texture that I can see. But if you want to have kind of a clear surface, like a real sketchbook would give you, oops, this way, we can paint the pages with this white paint as well. It does have to dry though before we can do too much drawing or painting on it. So here's some previous pages that I have glued together, so they're nice and strong now. They're reinforced by gluing those pages together, and I can just paint a white surface. And I like it if even just some of the words show through. Maybe I don't have it painted all just perfectly. I like how that looks. And then I can take it over here too. Maybe you guys are getting this already, but I don't like things super neat and precise most of the time. I like things kind of messy and loose and wonky. I like to be prepared when happy accidents come. If everything's planned out, I don't get so many happy accidents. So while that's drying, and that may take a few hours, so while that's drying, let's talk about what other fun things you can do with some book pages. And some other tools you might need. A pencil, a couple of Sharpies, a couple of Sharpies, crayons. You really just need a few. These are, I like that color combination, but you can, you know, I don't even have a full set here, but you can pick whatever color combination you like. And you can, if you want markers, you could do markers too. I really like this color combination, but I felt like it got a little dark. I couldn't see my pattern. You know, that's just a personal preference thing. So, once you have your supplies, you can pick a word to write. Oh, that's the one. So, I think for simplicity, we could just start with our names. I like to do cursive because I think it is easier to make some parts thicker and leave some parts thin. And also, it separates our page in half so that we know where our one color starts and our other color stops. So you could experiment with any kind of penmanship that you want. We'll do one for our camera girl. So draw it in pencil first. If you want, maybe you're feeling bold. Either way is fine. Then I'm going to go over it in black Sharpie. I wish I had. And I don't have to worry if I get perfectly on. Oops. I didn't follow my lines very good. So the way that I'm going to turn this just from regular handwriting into something a little bit fancier is just by making some areas thicker. So right down here, I could just make this little bit a little bit thicker and fill it in. Same with right here. Maybe this down swoop is a little thicker. See how already that's turning it into just a little bit more fancy. There you go. Then I picked just some colors that I like. Ooh, pink. Pink is nice. And I went around. I did leave a little white area around my letters. I just thought it looked nice. But you could definitely do whatever you felt looked nice. And then I made a little bit of a border. So I knew how far to color. Ooh. Anyway, you get the idea. You can color that in. And I liked doing, playing with color combinations and doing one color on the top and then a kind of a coordinating or matching color on the bottom. I like this color. Oh, yeah. Maybe it's turquoise. Anyway, you could do it all the way around. And like I said, I like to make a little bit of a border, but you do what you like. You do what you think looks good. Then from there, if you wanted to, you could add a little pattern. If you felt like it needed a little more something, something. A pattern is just a little mark that gets repeated. So different types of pattern, dots, lines, could be stripes, little check marks, circles, you can even vary the sizes, triangles, what else, wavy lines. Anything that is repeated becomes a pattern. So I think I'll do little pokey dots up here. And you could do it all over. Or you could just do it in a few spots. Or you could do it not at all. The good news, if you have a book that you can sort of harvest for paper, and you could do this on any paper too, it doesn't have to be a book page, but if you have a book that you can harvest for paper, you have, chances are, over 100 sheets of paper. So you could feel free to make 1,000,000 of these, or 1,000,001, or 1,000,002. You could even make 1,000,003. Oh, or 1,000,004. I sure do think I'm funny. Okay. Maybe down here. I like stripes too. And they don't have to be even. You could vary it. You could have it come, have different kinds of spacing in between your clusters of stripes. Some could be really close together. Some could be very far apart. Voila! The other thing that I always think is fun to do, and this takes actually a surprising amount of brain power. So you could choose to just choose random words, or you could choose words that make a poem somehow make sense. This one says, remember the stories. They talked of their secret wisdom. And then I just circled and then decorated those circles and sort of found a way to string them together so that people knew what direction to read the words in. Here's another one. And I circled the words, and then I just used 1,000,000 teeny tiny circles to decorate. So the way that I do that, and I think I've started it with this one, I spend some time finding some words that I think will go together. Once I have them, and usually I just underline them lightly with pencil, just in case they don't work out or if I want to change my mind. Once I have them, then I circle them. What was he mightn't remained luminous. It doesn't really make sense, but maybe then people will think you're really smart. How about this? Me? I deserve air conditioning. Good luck. So once you have your circle, your words circled, then we can start embellishing the circles. And this will help people figure out how to make sense of your poem. You know, usually words go from left to right, but when we do poems this way, it's not quite the norm. So if we can find a way to direct their eye, if it's a disaster, oh well, like I said, you've got probably 100 pages that you can work with. And then even so, you can still, even if you can still connect some of these, if you're feeling like it's still not very clear which order to read the words in. You can get some pretty silly poems this way. All right. So those are just a couple of fun things you can do with your books. I look forward to seeing what you come up with. Have someone take pictures. And after you've turned your book into a sketchbook, you can paint the cover. Or you could glue your thing onto the front. You could collage. You have so many skills now. Anyway, we'll see you tomorrow.